What is up, guys? Ever back with another video. This is video number 3. So keeping it posted. Essentially, I failed. Yeah, messed up. Technically, I posted yesterday's video at, well, not technically, I did post it at 12:10. Technically, it wasn't 2 days in a row. Womp womp. But who cares? Technicalities can be dismissed, and I'm gonna dismiss this one. I'm going to say that I posted a video yesterday. I didn't go to bed until after midnight, so I'm gonna count that as a win. But I guess that's a good transition to the topic today is failure and what it means to me, and essentially like ultimately what it is, and like how can you change your view of failure differently to succeed. So failure and me have had a weird relationship, right? For the longest time, I mean, any person hates failure. I mean, it's the opposite of what you want. You want to succeed. Whether it's, shooting that one basket into the hoop, that one goal in soccer, that one flip in wrestling, and you want it to be perfect, or that one match that you could have done this move differently and pin the guy quicker, or maybe he wouldn't have gotten you in that grab and whatever it may be. I think failure, the longest time, I hated it. I didn't understand it, right? It was one of those things I just didn't really comprehend. I mean, I comprehended. I failed, and I always felt bad about it. And young kids always have this, right? I mean, I can remember, being told I suck at soccer, or losing my first wrestling match, things like that, or my messing up in football, throwing the pass wrong, or running the play wrong, things like that. So it had a weird impact on my life at a young age, because I just didn't know how to look at it differently until I got older. And I really wish school taught you that failure isn't the end, the road. I had teachers that would give me an F, right? Maybe I didn't do it correctly or whatever. I get the paper and they're like, do better. Rather than helping me do better, they just told me to do better. But I didn't know what I did wrong, or how I failed, And so that probably also instilled, and I'm not just blaming just the teachers, because I had great teachers too. I had amazing teachers that kind of broke it down, or they're like, hey, stay after class, we talk to you, what aren't you understanding? Like, those teachers are amazing, and I wish there were more of them, and not just teachers, but mentors, coaches. A lot of my coaches saw the potential in me, but I didn't see it because of failures in my life, and then just my lack of confidence in certain things. I just never lived up to that full potential, even though they're like, dude, you can do so much more. Just don't take failure so hard, And so now I look at failure as to be expected, especially when you're trying something new. One of the things that I touched on, I think in the first video, was I used to think, and I still do think sometimes, I wonder if that's ego. Does ego get in the way as well, right? Because for me, I didn't want to post videos until I knew how to transition, or I knew how to edit, or I knew how to do this, or I had the right lighting. I wanted everything to be perfect, and then I want my first video to be a banger and get 100 views. Is that and I think that was a little bit ego, right? Because I wanted it to be perfect, or maybe not understanding the expectation of your first video. You're gonna suck, right? And so that's I feel like that was one thing, is I wanted I wanted myself to be good at something that I didn't put the effort into, the failures, all the failures that people go through in life, to be good at something, right? And so for any young kid watching, even not to anyone in any part of life, even if you're older than me, I mean, honestly, this lesson can be learned at any point in life. Thank God I learned it at 25-ish or whatever. Is failure is a part of life, right? And it's one of those things that you kind of have to look at, analyze, adjust, and then hit it again. But try to hit it differently, right? One thing you don't want to get stuck in is failing and then repeating the same failure over and over again, trying to do the same thing the same way, failing the same way, and expecting a different result. That is just insanity, the literal definition of it. And so I think learning that failure is just that stepping stone you need to go to success is it's a part of success. Like, no one has ever, like, LeBron James never just got on the court and was like amazing. Don't get me wrong, talent is good to have, right? I mean, but the world is full of undiscovered talent, right? And so talent can only take you so far. And the thing is, I want to instill it in myself, and it's still a learning process to have it, and I feel like I can have it, is that ability to be like, you may be smarter than me, you may be more talented than I am, but you're not going to work harder than me. And that's, I think, the thing that I have is the working harder than. I can work harder than you. That's something that I finally am just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, give it my all, right? Because ultimately too, I always thought, like, I put so much effort into my job, I try to do the best that I can. I still feel like I don't do enough at work, but that's another topic for another day. But I feel like if I put that much effort into what I want to do, I can get so much more out of it. Because I think about it too, it's like I learned all the stuff in veterinary medicine fairly quickly. But again, I think about this. I went from being a pizza driver to being a veterinary technician by experience alone. I got hired as a veterinary assistant, then I moved to another job, got trained as a veterinary technician under emergency care environment, which I had to learn quickly, sink or swim. I sank a little bit here and there, but got back up and started swimming, sank back. That's where failure was really present in my life, because I was failing a lot, messing up here and there, things like that, but didn't give up, kept persisting. Now imagine if I did that with anything else in my life, right? Just stay persistent, keep going. Like, what is it, Meet the Robinsons? Amazing film, by the way. I honestly forgot about that gem. Recently saw a video about that whole thing, just keep moving forward. I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I keep failing. Well, just keep moving forward. Couldn't have said better myself. And so, ultimately, I honestly, funny enough, I drank it like this because there's logos on the side. I didn't want it to pop up in the video. But I don't normally talk this much, and so I always get very like dry mouth. And so that's what I think failure is. Failure is necessary for success, I think. Talent is good. Do what you're talented at. But also do what you love. Do what you're good at, what you can get paid for. Even if it's something that you can't get paid for, if you just love it, just do it. This world is so big. You can find yourself in amazing places, just doing things, and so just learn to fail often, but learn to fail well, and learn from those failures. Just keep moving forward. Thank you guys so much for today's video. I appreciate anyone watching. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, all the end of the YouTube stuff, and all the stuff that people say at the end of YouTube channels. Trying to get better at that outro, because it's funny to say that and knowing that no one's watching, but if it's this unique feeling that eventually people will be watching. Hopefully, that's the goal, right? To get better, so people will find more value in the content that I make, and then come back for more. And so again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and have a great rest of your night, day, whatever time of day it is when you're watching this video. Peace.